Hare Krishna. I am Tattvavit Das from the Hare Krishna temple in Singapore. A friend of mine sent me a link to a video of all the performances that were done by a dance crew called the Kings from Mumbai on a recent show that happened, World of Dance. It was a dance competition, and I must admit that you, the Kings group, are blessed with some amazing, extraordinary talents. And for those of you who are watching this and who do not know what I'm talking about, you can just go to Google and search the King's World of Dance and you will see what I'm talking about. It was a phenomenal presentation of dance, and I want to say congratulations for having won the competition. You have phenomenal moves and all that. But especially the last show in the finals is what caught my attention. I mean, you might be wondering why I'm talking about a dance show, but honestly, I see a lot of potential here. In fact, I've also watched the interview of Mr. Suresh Mukund, who's the choreographer, and hats off to you, Mr. Suresh, for a wonderful performance and choreography. It was just amazing. I watched his interview with I think one podcast host. So there he was explaining some behind the scenes of what was going on and the backstory of this whole dance crew to start with, maybe some 12 years ago or something. It was a very moving story, in fact. And I'm really happy that you have put your talents to good use and you have achieved your much deserved recognition now. Especially that last show which you did in the finals, as Jennifer Lopez had commented.
I didn't think you guys could surprise me because I felt like I know they're going to do something out of this world spectacular, but I was actually surprised because tonight for me it wasn't the tricks. It was that you came with a different narrative and a story.
So that's what it's all about. The moves will only get you that far, but after that it's the story and what you do with those moves and what you convey with that art form is what will really take you to the next stage. You should already know all this, and you have done it, executed very well in the last show where you have showcased a fight scene and it was like an action movie right on stage, and that's what got me thinking. I wanted to do this video so I can share my perspective as well. So now you'll be open to a plethora of options of what you want to do with your lives. And here is where I want to give a little bit of an input from the spiritual perspective. Dance is an age-old form, an art form, and there have been traditional dances. And if you see in our Indian culture, I think you all will agree as well that our Vedic Indian culture is so vast, deep and meaningful, and top of that, it's highly underrated, I feel, and I think you all will agree to that. And of all culture, dance is something which is universal, because in every culture there is some kind of a dance form involved, and we in India, we are used to very traditional dance forms like the Bharatanatyam, the Kuchipudi, Kathak, Kathakali, Manipuri. So many dance forms are there. This new dance form that you have presented, this is something very appealing to the masses. It really catches the attention. And see, we have to use whatever talents we have to amplify and magnify, or rather, I would say, bring the real glory of Indian culture back to the fore. It's not magnifying. The culture is already very huge, and if we can just bring that to the audience of the world, and that will be the greatest contribution. Like traditional dance forms, they used to depict various instances and leelas from our Puranas like Bhagavat Puran, Padma Puran and Vishnu Puran, and even Ramayana and Mahabharata. So many stories from these and these Vedic classics have been depicted in dance form in the traditional way. With your dance form, you can bring that to the world stage. In fact, from your performances, I have come to see that you have not only dance skills, but you have acrobatic skills, you have fight choreography skills, you have acting skills. Your guys' expressions were so nice on stage, excellent. So you have so many skills. You're a multi-talented group, and that should be celebrated, and at the same time it should be used in the service of the Lord. And I think I have a great feeling that if you can use your talents to depict instances from our Vedic histories and our scriptures like the Ramayana, Mahabharata, Vishnu Puran, they have such deep, meaningful stories, and also it is about glorification of God, Krishna. See, whatever talents you have, it's by the grace of Krishna that you have them. So it has to be used in the service of the Lord. In fact, there is a nice verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam which says, Idam hi pumsas tapasastrutasya va svishtasya suktasya cha buddhi dattayoh avichyutortha kavibhir niropito yaduttama shloka gunanuvarnanam. By all the talents and all the efforts that we put in, the end result should be to glorify the Lord. And mind you, these Vedic histories are not some mythology. Even Hindus, they themselves label all this literature as mythology. This is very wrong. They are not myths, they were actual historical facts. Lord Ram walked on the surface of the Indian land and Krishna walked there. And these are all historical facts. Kurukshetra, right there, it is there, still you can go and see. Somehow or other, while we were under the British rule, we were brainwashed to think that this was mythology, but it's not. And I have a great feeling that your dance form, the way you guys do it, you have a great potential of bringing this Vedic culture to the international audience. I mean, we have stories like, Ramayana where Lord Ram kills Ravan, you can depict Hanuman burning Lanka, or even the whole Sundarakand, Krishna killing Kansa, and we have Bhima fighting Jarasandha, even Krishna playing with his cowherd boyfriends, and how he killed so many demons, even when he was a boy, Krishna dancing on the Kaliya snake. All these things can be so nicely depicted in dance form. I'm actually running out of ideas because you guys have such great creativity and passion for your art form that I think you can pull off anything with your skill sets that you have, and you should really use this to glorify the Lord. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says that do your duty as an offering to me. That was the whole theme of the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna himself was a great fighter. He had extreme skills of fighting, and he was wanting to run away from the battlefield in the beginning because he did not want to fight. But then Krishna said, no Arjuna, you are fighting for the sake of dharma, and your talent is to be a great fighter, so use that talent in my service. And this is true for every one of us. Whatever talents we have, whatever capacities we have, whatever passions we have, we don't have to give them up. Spirituality is not about giving up whatever you have, but using all that to glorify Krishna. From Bhagavad Gita, we understand that doing your duty in that way will bring you the ultimate success. I heard one of the comments by Mr. Suresh Mukund, as he was mentioning in the behind the scenes, that at one point you were chanting, Bharat Mata ki Jai, Bharat Mata ki Jai. So I was actually moved by that, not just because I'm an Indian, but because Bharat Mata has much more to offer, not only to Indians, but to the whole world. Because in Bharat, we have the culture, we have the Lord walked on the land. Can you imagine that? And there are so many places of pilgrimage, there's so much knowledge, there's no end to the amount of value that we can give to this world. And the best part is, people are not really readily interested in something spiritual because they think it is very boring or it is very too tough and not too entertaining. They think like that. It's not, but that's the perception people have. But with dance form, the beauty of it is, it's entertaining, at the same time it's educational. You can convey the vast meanings of our Vedic literature through dance forms. How Ram killed Ravan. These have great depth of meaning. So all this can be conveyed in a dance form, and which is entertaining and at the same time very engaging for the audience. And I think it's a hit combination. I think the way the world is going, this is 2019, people are more into videos, and you have a very entertaining presence. With that, if you can use to glorify the Lord, I'm telling you, the kings, you will have the utmost blessings of the Lord. Let me tell you that. That's for sure. Honestly, I don't want your success to end with this world of dance competition. I think it has just begun. But I want you to achieve the highest thing. That is the blessings of the Lord. And after this life, go back to the kingdom of God. Moksha, mukti. I know these are big words for you. You are youngsters. You are fun-loving people. But the real fun is when you are with God. You can play with Him. You can dance with Him for eternity. Why you want to enjoy only this one life? You have now the opportunity, the biggest opportunity of your life, to going back to Godhead. So human life is meant for this. So be very careful. Do not break your ankles. Do not break your bodies while doing this. At the same time, use it for Krishna's service, and your lives will be perfect. Keep up the spirit of Bharat Varsha. If you can take some of this advice and go back and brainstorm on how to actually do this, that will be the best. If you want any help, you can always DM me on Instagram. My social media handles in the description below. So, thank you. Wish you the very best in your lives. Hare Krishna.